What's up, fam? My name is ADAIR, and welcome to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome to episode 1 of my trans trials and tribulations. So for this first video, before kind of diving into all the inner workings of how I was able to kind of begin my medical transition, want to take a step back and kind of just tell you how I got here in the first place. So as I had mentioned, I am a trans, masculine, non-binary individual who uses they, them pronouns. So I mean, first and foremost, what does non-binary mean to me? For me, it's what makes sense, what feels right. Like growing up, I never really identified that strongly with womanhood. Like there is a deep part of me that is super just thankful and appreciative and really honors the fact that I was able to be raised and grow up as a Black woman. You know, like that experience is really important and special to me, and definitely isn't something I'm willing to fully remove myself from, because it is such an important and formative part of me. But at the same time, I don't really see myself as a woman. Like when I'm talking about women, I'm often talking about women, but not really talking about myself. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you know, same thing on the male side of the spectrum. Like when I'm talking about men, I'm talking about men. I don't necessarily fully see myself as a man, and at this point in my transition, I don't see myself fully moving to the trans man side of the spectrum. But honestly, everything is fluid. I didn't know I'd be here a couple of years ago, so you know, who knows how things could go. But this is where I'm comfortable. This is what makes me happy, and feel whole and centered in myself. So I definitely say getting here was a journey, because for me, I definitely didn't have too much information about the trans experience at all, especially growing up. I think it was pretty binary, even in the queer experience, where you're, you know, a lesbian, you're gay, and then within the lesbian community, you got the studs, you have the femmes. It wasn't until I moved out to Seattle, honestly, which is probably one of the queerest places I lived prior to living in Brooklyn, where it kind of felt like a gender studies class. And I was really able to see a lot of people expressing themselves in ways outside of the binary that really got me thinking. And when I moved to Brooklyn, I guess like 7 years ago now, I found myself being immersed, especially through DJing and event planning, meeting a bunch of folks who are just like so awesome, so authentically themselves, and showing up in that way that I was like, whoa, like I see myself in you. I don't necessarily know what it is yet, you know, but giving myself time to research as well, I kept feeling like, wait, that's me. That's how I feel. Like I see myself in you. So I kind of dove deeper down that rabbit hole, and was able to discover kind of parts of myself that were always there, but that I didn't really have words for or couldn't describe for a long time. Like I didn't really even know top surgery was really an option until I saw so many non-binary, queer, trans men just out here so apologetically themselves. And I'm like, that's what I'm going for, but it was never quite fitting. I never really identified with my chest at all. And honestly, through my research is where I understood what dysphoria is. Like it's one thing to feel dysphoria without knowing what dysphoria is, but once you figure it out, it's like, oh, that makes sense. Like this makes sense why I'm buying so many oversized clothes so I can appear flat or everything like that. But I say the moment I really got the grip on it and how it affected me was the first time I wore a binder. And it was honestly one of the most like, it just fit. Like I remember putting on my binder and then putting on my clothes and looking in the mirror, and I was like, this is it. Like this is what I've been looking for this whole time that I didn't have words for. And it just felt really good. It felt really honest. So that was about 2.5 years ago when I started binding, and it was great. I was just like, I feel the most myself the most in my body in this way. But of course, when you get home, you're taking off the binder, you're kind of thrown back into it. Also, binders are super hot in the summer. Oh my God. And even just wearing a binder for 8-10 hours a day, going to work, coming back and everything like that, you know, weighs a toll on your body. And what I started realizing was it felt like my lungs weren't fully able to expand, or they were kind of like bruised a little bit when I was trying to really like stretch out, because my body had been constricted for so long, for such a long period of time. So once I realized, I was just like, yo, binding is it. And then realizing, yo, binding is not it. I cannot do this long term, but this is what makes me happy. That's why I really started seriously considering top surgery. So I'd say that was about 2 years ago or so. And that's when I also was thinking, like, do I want to start T? Do I not? Like, there's some things I'm looking for, there's some things I'm not. And I was kind of really on the fence about it, you know? So I had made the decision, like, I'm not sure about T, but I am going to get top surgery. But unfortunately, I had 2 knee surgeries. The first had complications, so I had to get another one. The first one in 2017, the second one in 2019. So those really kind of threw me back. And that healing process of kind of like building myself back, going through physical therapy, set back my other transitional plans quite a bit. So finally, I'd say this year, 2020, last year, COVID, I call it COVID clarity, you know, like this COVID thing is crazy and has affected so many people in so many horrible ways, you know, and I would never wish this to happen again and hope it ends sooner than later, you know, but I'm definitely more of a glass half full type of person. And I did find some benefits during this whole COVID experience. I'd been DJing pretty aggressively for like 4 years, working 9 to 5, being out DJing from like 8 to 2, 3, sometimes in the morning, even during the week. So my body was just worn out and tired. So after like sleeping and just relaxing, probably the first month of quarantine, I was able to really do a lot of personal introspection, kind of seeing where I'm at, where I want to be, how are my current habits, you know, adding to the future that I want or kind of making it less realistic. I really had to do some soul searching about what I want and how I'm going to get what I want. So that is when I was like, you know what? First of all, I'm definitely getting top surgery. This honestly might be the best time for me to get top surgery. If we're going to be home for an extended period of time, I can like take the time to really recover and take my time without having to, you know, commute through New York subways and everything like that. So that was the first piece. And then with that, I was like, you know, I'm still thinking about this testosterone thing. For me, T, I really was looking for like a sharper jawline, more of that fat redistribution is kind of, whenever gaining weight, going to your hips is really another source of dysphoria for me. And then also like the muscle definition and growth was also important for me. So as I kind of warmed up and kind of understood that you also don't have to take full doses of T, you can take micro doses of T and have more of a gradual experience. That was something I felt a lot more comfortable with. So that process began in December? Yeah, December 16th. So that's when I started T, and I wanted to start before my top surgery, which was January 28th, because I was really just in a place really working on my fitness and wellness, especially leading up to top surgery, making sure I was in like the best physical shape that I could be, and also trying to focus a lot of those workouts on this chest area so that my surgeon could clearly see where my chest muscles had developed, and I was looking for T to kind of help develop that as well. So that is kind of how the T thing came in line. It's been great. I've been microdosing for 2 months now. I use the gel, so there's no needles. I'm not a needle person. And it's pretty smooth. It's kind of just like part of the morning routine, put on deodorant, put on some T, getting out the door. But yeah, so I had top surgery on the 28th of January, and it was honestly like, it's been amazing. Like, just knowing that I won't have to bind like ever again, and looking at myself in the mirror and seeing like this person that I knew was there but like couldn't fully see, and really being able to identify with my full body and not just kind of overlooking the chest and like moving on from there. It's just amazing. It's a really powerful feeling to create the person you want to be and make those choices yourself. Like, it's cool, I get it. I got the like regular female template when we came out the womb, but you know, I'm more of a bespoke kind of person, so I'm gonna work on adjusting myself to be exactly how I want to be. And this process has been really amazing, and I'm really excited to share with you guys more about it so that the next person can just have a smoother experience. In my experience researching and, you know, finding other trans folks that were sharing their stories, what I noticed is, you know, about 98% of them were white. You know, it was really hard to find people of color and folks that I not only identified with, but I could actually see myself in, and also trusting the healing process, because melanin works a little different when you have it. So that was really important to me when I was getting in this journey, to like take a minute and say, hey, I'm gonna share this with y'all because I want this to be smoother for the next person when it comes to insurance, finding a surgeon, finding resources to do all of that. You know, I've been through it, so I'm here to share a little information and hopefully make this process easier for the next person. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. More to come. If you like this, you want to hear a little bit more, don't forget to like, comment, share, save whoever you think might be interested in this. I would really appreciate it. And stay tuned, more to come. Peace, man.